Hello everybody, Raptor King of the West here, and today we are back in Minecraft Dinosaurs, and today we're gonna get a Ceratosaurus enclosure, because honestly, that was my plan before they updated. The eggs are down here, we got 3 of them, and I have so many items in my inventory. It was my plan a while ago to do this enclosure. Now that we've gotten the update, it should actually be a better enclosure than what I was planning. Because now we have mud, and Ceratosaurus lives in swamps and floodplains. So I think mud's going to make a very nice decorative block. Depending on how I'm feeling, we might also do some dried mud. I'm not sure. Set up a couch here. All this. This has the mosquito in it now, which is really cool, and I did some stuff up here. Slowly trying to actually make this place nice and livable, and this is still a mess that I need to deal with. Working on designs for the garage and the vehicle, but I don't actually know what, like, block palette I want to use for the garage, because I can't decide if I want it to match this or contrast it. That's where I'm at right now. Gotta decide. But yeah, today we're doing a Ceratosaurus enclosure, and I want to try, and we'll see how it goes, I want to try to do a little bit of a gradient. It's not a very large gradient, and I don't even know if I have all the blocks to actually make it look good. But if I need to, we can smelt some of it or get a stone cutter. We'll see. I just want to try. It's like I wanted to try the custom trees, which I think to make a good custom tree it needs to be a lot bigger, is one of the problems there. One of the reasons that did not turn out the way I was hoping. Hello, Nautiluses. Have you laid any eggs? No? Oh well. Are you? Yeah. I think they can lay eggs. And that would be nice, because, as I think I mentioned last time, the piscivores, like our Dimetrodon, do eat Nautilus eggs. I think. See if we can check without dying. Are you gonna kill me? No. Oh, but you are taking damage. Carnivorous piscivore. Presumably Nautilus eggs. But yeah. I never feed these carnivores. It's a problem. I need to make that chicken farm. I really do. It's it is becoming a little bit of a problem, and we keep getting more carnivores. No, like, let's... Do we think I can actually check on our raptor without getting eaten? Are you gonna kill me? No? Are you tamed to me? I didn't think you were. Oh, you are! You do eat eggs. I do have a surplus of eggs. How many do you eat? How many can I feed you to fill you up? Eat. Eat them all. I'm okay with it, yeah. One more? Will you eat one more? You will eat one more. Okay. You're, like, slightly less mad at me now. Guy got the tunnel under there, but I want the tunnel to connect into the labs, which I also have not started on. Look at that! So many projects that I haven't actually worked on. Okay. Where do I want a Ceratosaurus enclosure? That I want to be an aquatic enclosure. We could push further this way. We should, maybe? Almost, I'm wondering? Or we go over here and we cover up this ravine. Kind of feel like that's the route that we go with, but let's actually... How close are we to that? This way. Is this... Wait, am I crazy? I'm crazy. I'm going It's this way. This way. Okay. Let's just take a look. Let's see if it's feasible. And then we'll go from there. Gotta cover up so many caves. Okay. Over here is what I'm considering. If I cover up that ravine, this is an option. However, I don't think it's a better option than just going across. Like, we could... Over here? Or we go... Should have planned this more. Or we go over here. Past all of this, we clear out some trees near the Pachyrhinosaurus enclosure. How is our T-Rex doing? We're gonna check on you. You? Are you taller? You're not taller. I don't know if you're fully grown or not. I feel like... Hold on. Started and ended slowly. Grows a lot during teenage years. Okay, it's telling me about your lifespan, which I don't actually have to worry about. Usually these say how big they get. I feel like you can get up to 4 blocks tall, which you're currently... If I measure from head to base, you're 3. If I measure head to hip, you're 2.5. I have no idea which way they're measuring it. Alright. Around our Parasaurolophus enclosure, which, by the way, the only dinosaur that changed color is the Parasaurolophus, who now blends into the environment. Look at this. Look at this guy. Let's go check on him. You're green now. And still entirely unnamed. But yeah, you're green. And it's actually a very similar green to the Calamity. Alright. If I go over here, we clear out a section of these trees. Like over... Get all the way over here. And we'll just... I don't have much inventory, but we'll just clear out some trees. Because I think that this is a good area for this enclosure. We've been doing a lot across the river lately, but we do still have area on this side. We have this mountain that we need to do something with at some point. I want a monorail between here and the Arctic area, which is where we're going to do all of our Ice Age stuff, our Cenozoic enclosures. Or at least as many of them as fits. Some of those are from very recently in the Cenozoic era, which means it's actually climates more similar to our current one. And Magellanea lived in a warmer habitat. The dodo bird lived on a habitat that is east of Madagascar. And they only died a couple of 100 years ago at this point. So I do think it's reasonable to, I should get a chest, which means I need a crafting table. Where is, come on, work with me here, game. Crafting table. Throw that down. Single chest hopefully will work. Okay, we're not going to need most of this for a while, so let's just throw a bunch of it in. And then clear out these trees. Yeah, so not all of the things from the Cenozoic era in this mod actually lived in a particularly cold climate. But I still sort of want to have all of them in the ice area and have like an Arctic research facility. What I'm sort of thinking we can do to solve that problem is have just fully sheltered enclosures where they have roofs, and maybe we build some things that look like they're heating it up, like heating elements, heating lamps. No, that's not what because trying to think of things that we could use to look like heating lamps. We do have the red toy ball. We could do that. Mutant tree somehow, I'm sure we could pull off. I don't know. I don't actually know. I'm not sure. But I have ideas. And I have no idea how they'll go yet. But got ideas, at least. So we're gonna teleport home. And we're gonna walk back after. Because why not? Need to get those steps in. Wonder how much distance I've walked. Because I teleport a lot. So it's probably distance walked. 45 kilometers, 63 kilometers. Walked on water. Walked under. How is that more? 0 centimeters by boat. We haven't dealt with the end yet, which at some point we'll do. And we will get an elytra at some point, but I'm still probably gonna mostly walk around. Just because I'm putting in effort to make the walking areas nice. I say, well, this has gone completely unworked on in probably a couple of months now, actually. But that's fine. Yeah, I haven't even done the bridge yet. I haven't done the bridge. Haven't shaped this anymore, and I haven't even put in the tire tracks or the fences. We'll get there. I'll do it eventually. I promise. We got this at least. Hey, they're not scared of me if I don't stop. Then they're all afraid for a second. What if I stop moving? See, they'll open back up. Alright. Back to a Ceratosaurus enclosure. I have another Protoceratops DNA. We should get you a friend at some point. What's your... 7. Max population is 7. Yeah, we could do that. Pachyrhinosaurus, you took way too long to get, and I have a second DNA now, so we can get you a friend, too. Still so happy that we got you, though. Way too difficult, though. You should not have been that difficult to get. But you are adorable. Anyway, let's go get you some carnivores for a neighbor. Where was it? Over here? Where all the items are? Probably. I don't know how big I want it to be, but I feel like I've gone too deep into the forest. Which is a problem that can be rectified later. By adding paths and shops, which maybe I make an episode out of doing a bunch of paths and shops. I don't know. I don't know a lot of things for the future of this series. I have long-term future goals, but short-term, Every episode's just what I want to do at that time. Unless I am specifically hunting for DNA to do a specific enclosure, which Pachyrhinosaurus, Postosuchus, those two were the main ones where that was a thing. All the other ones sort of happened naturally. Okay, so there is definitely a bit of space between here and even just the edge of the forest, let alone the other actual enclosures and the rest of the park, zoo. But some walking paths, some shops, some benches, I think it can work out. Have these not been growing? I know that they can. I know that this can grow, but I guess it hasn't been. Oh well. Now let's try and figure out what this gradient is gonna look like. Because I brought 4 blocks with me, and in theory, I know how this goes. But in practice, we'll see, because they're different temperatures. See, is this gonna help? This is gonna help a little bit. I feel like that's the gradient. This supports that idea relatively well. I'm gonna need my shovel for this one, which is... Alright. Alright, so we're starting with blackstone. Let's get out all of our blackstone, which isn't much, so we might need to get more. Luckily, did find a bastion. And I think to prevent this from looking too weird as far as a gradient goes, I need to try and make sure that it's not like hard cuts between the coloration. Like it needs to mix in a bit as we go up. Getting a really weird shape here, which I am alright with. That works for me. Alright, where are we designating the front? I think we're designating over here the front. So, I am gonna do that, because I want... I want the front window to sort of curve outward, or outward? I want the wall around it to be curved a bit. Don't ask me why. I don't really know. But I personally believe that it may look good. That is my whole motivation. I got a feeling. That's it. That's all I need. And I am going to go with that as an entire plan. We should carry some volcanic rock with us. Just to mix in, not much on this first layer, but progressively more as we go up. Just the occasional one. I don't know if I'm trying to redeem myself from the custom trees or not, but I want to restore your faith in me. That I can at least pretend to know how to build. Which I'm not necessarily giving the greatest faith. Oh, Minecraft's being laggy for some reason. I wonder why. That sounded rhetorical, but actually I have no idea why it would be mad at me right now. So we're just gonna let it do its thing, you know? And just keep mixing in. And it's gonna look a little bit organic and rocky, hopefully. And there we go. I'm not so sure about how this is going. And why is Minecraft's music so loud? Is that just... I have it so low. I have it at 30. So I don't know why it's being so loud right now. I might have to turn it down a bit more, just for my own sake. Because, yeah, Minecraft's music is good, but... I don't know. Sometimes I just want to build in peace and talk to myself, because I do that a lot. I do that even when I'm not recording. That's just, it's a thing that I do. And so, it's just gonna get higher and higher as we get further out until it sort of gets to a point over at this end. Which, let's get... Oh, I'm falling. Let's get some more of my volcanic rock in here. I think this layer will be one of the biggest ones. Gonna need... Oh, I might need to... I have more at the base, so it will be fine, but we might need to grab more. We'll see. I think at this point we're sort of transitioning to the volcanic rock as the main sort of material. And we're going to start mixing in small amounts of the blackstone. And when I say small amounts, I mean we only have 8 left. So it's going to be pretty small. Let's actually just... Yeah. Maybe that looks good. I don't know. It's getting late, and I'm building with a lot of dark blocks. Should have set a waypoint over there. Gonna have to walk all the way back again. Or, alternatively, maybe I should bring a bed with me, but I don't know. Well, not do that, probably. Let's grab some more ash. And where's all my volcanic rock laying? I know I have more, or I thought I did. Did I not? Did I only have 14 more? Maybe. Do I have... Nope, I'm inside. I won't be able to see. Do I have a waypoint nearby there? Nope, nearest waypoint's the exact opposite direction. Alright. We're gonna do this the, speedy way. Oh, okay, never mind. We're gonna do this the painful way. This also gets me on the wrong side to do anything. So, that was really not effective in all regards of the problem. Next episode I should name something. I don't know what's next on the list of things that I need to name. But whatever's next, I will name it next episode. Unless you guys give a name suggestion for anything else at all, then I will name that first. Maybe we'll do multiple names in an episode, I don't know. But commenter and viewer suggested names get priority over whatever I come up with. So, go nuts. Come up with a name for every single dinosaur in this zoo, because if it's already named, well, we're gonna get another one day, so I'll add it onto a list so that you guys get your names used at some point, even if it's something that we already have named. Because I don't want you guys feeling like your name suggestions, if you do give them, are going unheard. They will, at some point, get their time in our zoo. I don't know where I was going with that sentence, I'm gonna be honest. What is next on the palette? This is kind of gonna end up being like a weird geode mountain thing. Now that I'm thinking about it. We have another stack, so we're actually gonna go up another layer or two. Excuse me. Yeah, let's go up another little bit before I start trying to mix in anything. I think one more layer and then we can start slowly mixing everything in. And okay, this is getting somewhere, actually. I'm liking where we're going. And we are going to mix in the smallest amount of volcanic ash on the next layer. My biggest concern actually is that we might be going up like to a point too quickly, that we don't get all the layers in. But I am directly in control of slowing that down by just making a couple layers 2 blocks instead of 1. Couple more. Sure, have a couple next to each other, that's fine by me. And fall, apparently. I do that a lot. There we go. Okay. And then even more on this next layer. And then at a certain point, it'll be more like we're mixing in volcanic rock than like we're mixing in the volcanic ash. Okay, did not need that there. I think we're actually getting close to that level as is, so I'm just gonna jump the gun a little bit. Yeah, I think I think we're doing this right, maybe? Let's take a step back here. I get my vision, which is good, I think. I understand where I'm coming from. However, I don't know if the execution is there. But we're not done. So maybe it's fine. We're gonna go. And I guess that's... We can still mix in a little bit of volcanic rock. But that's sorta done now. We actually have some left over, which is a little bit surprising. I thought that we were cutting it a bit close. And I fell. That's alright. But no, it's actually looking like something. I'm shocked. Throw the volcanic rock in there, grab the last of the ash, and the cobbled deep slate, which luckily should actually go a pretty long way, because it's going to be the last layer, so at that point we should be nearing a literal point. But a couple of layers here first of just ash. I was hoping to pull that in a bit. Oh, that was not what I wanted to do. More like that. Okay. I almost wonder if we actually need to start closing this curve, like bringing it in a little bit. I think we do. But I am happy to say that I think most of my vision is actually making a little bit of sense, which is awesome. And then we go in. That'll curl in a little bit more. How much more of this stuff do we have? So much! We have so much of this stuff left. I shouldn't be worried about it. In fact, I should be more worried that I'm not actually gonna have enough layers available for cobbled deep slate. Which is why I'm trying to pull this out as much as I can, but I also don't want it to look weird. So we will see how effectively I can pull that off. Is that gonna look weird? Maybe? I'm not sure. We might have to go ahead and start mixing in cobbled deep slate now, I think. Let's see if we can finish this before nightfall. Some pretty small, short layers at this point, so I don't foresee it taking too long. Don't know if I'm doing the mixing in right for the gradient, but I'm trying my best. Try and make this a little bit pointed, I think. Like maybe a bit less sloped towards the top here. Alright. I have no idea how this has gone. I feel like that last layer is short, but I don't know. How far back do I have to go to see this? Do I think I can break this chest and bring everything back with me? Everything except the chest, funnily enough. Alright. Mobs aren't spawning. That would be why. I don't know why it's on peaceful mode. But mobs were not spawning, so that was a little bit of a giveaway. Oh, and now they are. See, now they're... Okay, you know what? We can look at this in the day. We can look at that in the day. I was like, this is weirdly peaceful. I'm not getting shot at or anything. And that would explain a lot, yeah. Alright, I'll deal with it one day. I promise. I need that bread. That's gotta go down there. That's gotta go up there. Okay. Then we're gonna need to put an environment in there, and then we're gonna need glass to sort of finish it off. The question is, do I have glass? Because that was not something I thought of before I started working on this. We have iron bars, but I don't think I have enough iron on the planet. Come on. Nope. We do not. Alright, you know what this means? Sand collection. Got the shovel. This is slowly becoming a death trap, which is okay. I'm not too worried about it. Oh, just fully decimating this landscape. Which, it's not even like... Yeah, it's far from where we live, but also not that far. Could have gone farther. There's sand over here. Wherever I found... There's an academy over here that I do want to look at on camera. I haven't gone in it. But I want the 1.20 version of this mod to mellow out a little bit, because as you guys can probably tell, the frames are being a little bit unhappy still. I'm working on fixing it, but honestly, the best way to get them to calm down is just to play. Which I do off camera to help, but on camera also is going to be a big part of that. Which is why we're here. But also we're here because we love seeing dinosaurs in Minecraft, and that's really what we're all about. Okay, Minecraft, you do you. I'm not too worried about it, buddy. I understand you don't want to see. Are you frozen or are you gonna crash? You're frozen. That was something. Okay, gravity blocks are not my friend right now. As I was saying, yeah, the 1.20 version, it's not really happy that I'm recording it, so we're gonna need to give it some time. That would be why we need to do that. Alright, well, that's not too big of a concern. Because while we're waiting for that, we can... We need... Okay. I feel like we should go... We'll grab these just so these in storage. I just want to try and keep a cycle of eggs going at this point. Alright. Yeah, we can bring those. We can bring those. Could have sworn that I had ferns. Oh well. We aren't giving these trees much attention because I don't really like them. We're gonna need lots of bone meal. I'm also gonna bring, we might not be able to fit many of these. We'll do 3. Should get some more of these cooking at some point. I will not be able to fully cook them without a full biogoo. So we're just gonna leave that running how it is. Do I have torches in here? Or coal even, or like anything at all that I can use to light up this enclosure? 2 sticks, or not 2 sticks, 2 coal, any amount of sticks will do. 9. Why do I have this stuff over here? That's right, because I have no idea where to put it yet. Ah, I keep forgetting what a mess everything is up there. Okay, we'll grab a fern on the way. And then we should be all set to do the inside of that enclosure, because we're going to do some mud. I'll grab some water while we grab the fern. It's a floodplain or a swamp. I'm probably going to go more the floodplain direction, which in this instance means I'm just going to have a larger area of water. And then, yeah, we'll have some mud. And our trees. Hello. How is Agnes and Chester doing? Where is Agnes and Chester? I can never find them. One of you is Agnes. Hello, Agnes. Where is your husband? Hello. Thank you, actually. Thank you, Chester. And then... we should check. So I have a resource pack to make water clearer, and that has had some unforeseen consequences here. This is crystal clear. I don't know why it's like this. And there's nothing I can do to fix that, because this texture doesn't get updated. Hello, Sebastian. We need to get you some friends, but I keep ignoring them. Because they're less fun than all the others. At least to me. I'm sure that some of you really like the, ooh. What era? It's Precambrian, right? It's not really an era, just like a general span of time. I'm trying to remember when trilobites are from. I don't remember. But I'm sure a lot of you guys like the trilobites and the creatures from that time period. And we will do... But this is more fun for me to build. And maybe that's the problem, is I'm not thinking about fun ways to build that enclosure, actually. Maybe that's it. You know what? I could be really lazy. It's a floodplain. I could make, like, all of that water. All of that section there. I could. There's nothing stopping me. I'm kind of okay with that idea. And then I wonder if I can get away with letting this turn the water below it to dirt so that the mud is a bit easier. Oh, now we have mud bricks. We can make some really nice paths with those, actually. Oh, we might have to make all the paths soon. I'm starting to get ideas. It's a dangerous thing. I didn't bring bone meal with me. What is... There we go. That's not a temporary waypoint, which is unfortunate. I wish it was. But I don't actually know what I'm doing, so... bone meal, bone meal. There we go. I'll leave it for a second or two. Alright. Tree. Yep, that is... Did they rework how these trees look? I don't mean that I think all of them are going to be a single top, but I think they might have changed how the leaves generate, which would be awesome, because the ways the leaves generated before was not great. These are all really short, which is sort of good for this enclosure. Is that one gonna... Oh, it did grow! It grew! I wasn't sure if it would. Alright, we're gonna need more bone meal. More bone meal. I know exactly where to get it. I think. How's this doing? Yeah? Another Protoceratops egg. Throw that in there. Grab these. Lots of bone meal. Let's get a single bucket of milk. I have no idea what this plant looks like. And I'm not going to check. But, if I think it'll fit, it can go in the enclosure. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to do that? I can I can drink the milk. I can do that. I don't need to craft it away. Where does it go? What? Okay, well, we're gonna let that be. Alright. Are any of these trees connected? Not really, I think, but... Hey, that one will actually let them grow around a little bit. And we'll need at least one over here. I think that those aren't going to get very far, though. We need horsetails. They're all outside, okay. Are they all outside? Nope. I'm gonna grab sugarcane. Because I think that could look good. And that's what we're going for here. We want this enclosure to look not terrible. That's what I live by. Doesn't have to be the best, it just has to be good enough that you're happy with it. That's the key there, is that you have to be happy with it. That doesn't even need to be permanently happy, that just needs to be at the time you're happy with it. There we go. Let's get a bunch of this turned into mud. Very loud process. Then we will get some of it to stretch onto the land, but first, we gotta do all the ones in the water. Hopefully by then, actually we should check first here. I need to sleep anyway, so this is a good excuse. How much? I might wait for that to finish and then throw in the second stack, because I think the way I want to do this means that I need to use full blocks. We can check on how this is doing while we're here. Not terrible. Didn't actually need to go mining. I did have a lot of sand. What one of these can we do next? Lonchodamus? Lonchodamus? I don't know which way that one's pronounced. We could do that one next. I don't know how I could make, because I want that underwater enclosure that we have Sebastian in. I want to expand it and put all of them in one enclosure, at least for now. We can have future enclosures where we separate them and stuff, but for now, I think it would be really fun to have them in one. But I don't know a way to make that fun, other than, like, oh, coral. We could build some custom coral, I guess? Is that... maybe that's something we do? I don't know. Like, let's look at yellow. What blocks do we have? Not a great amount. Coral, we get coral, but even that's not super fun. With the not full block coral, that we can work with for sure, but the full blocks, not so much. Blue. I don't know how to make it fun. I'm not sure. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. But I'm gonna have to keep thinking. Because I don't want to just ignore, like, a whole section of the mod because I can't think of a fun enclosure. That's not something I want to do. Sounds terrible. I have, quite foolishly, put things on some of the blocks that I want to spread mud to. But that's okay. It'll be fine. We can put them back after. I think that it does look much better with the mud, though. And maybe we'll have to go to some of the other enclosures and retroactively give them mud. I don't know. I think the Dimetrodon enclosure is actually fine as it is, because I did the podzol. But underwater, we could do some mud. Same thing with the Parasaurolophus enclosure. We can put some mud underwater. Alright. How far... let's break these. I'm trying to figure out. I think 2 blocks. Does that look like it goes far enough? I think it does. Maybe my bigger problem with it isn't how far it goes, but the fact that it looks too uniform. So let's create a little bit. Fern spores do grow. Where was this? It was there, I think. I don't know if we need one there. but we're gonna put it there. There we go. Throw that back there. I had a torch there. Should probably keep a torch there. Don't want this enclosure getting too dark. Mostly because I don't want mobs spawning and killing my dinosaurs again. They've been dead for a minimum of 65 million years, at the youngest. I can't even imagine how long some of the older ones have been dead for. If we're talking strictly dinosaurs, 230, I think. Someone is going to correct me on that, I'm sure, but just off the top of my head, remembering the fact that I am, in fact, currently talking in front of a camera, which means that there is a good chance that I get information wrong. I think it's like 250 million years ago for the Triassic era. Which, do we even have anything from the Triassic era that's actually a dinosaur? Because we have... Plastosuchus is a crocodile. Cretaceous, Jurassic. I don't actually know. I don't know, but that's also a crocodile. I think most of the... I don't know where Ornitholestes is from. I don't know where some of these are from. The ones that I do know, I know aren't from the Triassic, or, alternatively, are not dinosaurs. Those are the two options for the ones that I do actually know what time period they're from. You know what? We don't need that to go up very high. That might be good enough as is. There's no door to this enclosure, which I would say probably long-term going to be a mistake. So let's pick an area. Right here, I think, is perfect. Let's teleport back home, because I'm lazy. Let's grab a door. Now, I don't even think this mod still has a feature where things can learn how to open doors. That was a thing a long, long time ago. The early days of fossil and archaeology revival. Velociraptors could learn to open doors. Compies could learn to open doors. And Deinonychus wasn't even in the mod yet. So, if we go... I feel, for a while after that, there was a point when Deinonychus was in this mod, I believe, where they could open doors. But I don't know. I would have to double check. Basically, before they updated the visual style of this mod to be how we were looking at it in 1.12, that long ago, before that, the style was a lot more cartoony and inaccurate, more like Jurassic Park inspired, you could almost say. So all the way back then, Compies and Velociraptors could learn to open doors, and it was a very small list of dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures in the mod. Back then, that was something you had to worry about, and I just don't think that's a thing anymore. I do like that. do I have more bone meal? Because if I do, I would love to get that in the enclosure. I do. Alright. Nope, I need those with me. Let's get a couple of these in here. And then one of them popped up outside. That works for me. As long as I have one, I can use for the seed vault. 3 Ceratosaurus eggs, which I know that these ones recently had their models updated even. So they're even more updated than some of the other ones in this mod. So I am very curious to see how they look. I like this enclosure. It's very open, despite, I would argue, being one of our most enclosed spaces. We have somewhere to put torches against over here now, so we can do that. Hiding the torches a little bit, actually. I can't hide all of them, but how many can I sorta hide? That's not terrible. How does that look from outside? Hold on. Does that lights it up enough, I think. How does that look from outside? Yeah, that's not bad. I do think the gradient turned out okay. Now, before I go to sleep, are these eggs warm enough? No, none of them, including this one right next to a torch. I shouldn't have removed that waypoint. We gotta walk all the way back now. The only upside is I can drop these off in the chest. I do wish I could show you guys the really old versions of this mod, like... I don't even know how far back I would go. Back when they added the Spinosaurus and Allosaurus. Trying to remember how they did these updates. I could show you back when they added the Allosaurus. I don't know how far they got before... No, I do know how far they got before the last... Like, they changed the textures of everything, actually. I don't remember what the last thing added was, but I think Allosaurus was among the last ones that was added with the old textures. And then they changed who was doing modeling and texturing. Some people left the mod and joined the mod, and now they've sort of strived more for scientific accuracy, which is super cool, and I do think that's awesome. There is a certain nostalgia for me in the old textures and models, but I do absolutely love how it looks now. Maybe one day, if I get it working properly, because I've tried loading up old versions of the mod, and it's just... it has a lot of... not issues, but I think I would need to change my graphics drivers around a bit, and I really don't want to do all that. But maybe one day, just to show you guys what it used to be like, I could do that, or you could find some really old videos from like Poet Plays and stuff, because he used to upload Minecraft Dinosaurs. He got to like 600 episodes before he sort of just vanished. It's been a year. It's been more than a year now. I don't know where he is or what he's doing, but he used to do Minecraft Dinosaurs, and I used to watch it. So he has some old videos where you guys could see Even the version before the revival, I think. The original Fossils in Archaeology. But I think showing you early days of the revival, if I can get it working, I would love to do that at some point. And maybe I will. I don't know when, but at some point. Just to show you guys how much this has changed. Because you've seen, for sure, like I know that you have seen because I've played it and recorded it for this channel. You've seen the jump from 1.12 to 118 and now to 120. And you guys have been lucky enough that those jumps have all been relatively quickly, one after another. We were in 1.12 for a couple of years, though. But it had been years before that they had even started talking about a jump to 1.16 was the original plan. And now we're in 1.20. Alright. I want to see these guys. 3 Ceratosauruses. I need to stop doing these in multiples so I don't need to figure out what the plural is. We got a little red guy. Little red guy. Are they 2 little red guys? There are 2 little red guys. And another tan guy. I think that's tan. That might be beige. No. It's too saturated to be beige. I didn't bring you guys food. Here is their history. They only get up to 2 meters tall, so, like, I'll be just as tall as them in-game. Not in real life. I'm not that tall in real life. Should I steal you guys some food before we do the outro? I should steal you guys some food. I see a yellow dot on the map. It's a sheep. You guys can eat a sheep. I believe in you. Do I think you will for a while? No, I do not. But sometimes they do live bait feed while young. Sometimes they don't. I don't know what the criteria for it is. Are you tamed to me, actually? Because I can... Yeah, you are. Okay. Eat, please. Will that work? No. Alright. Are you guys gonna help me out for the outro? Where are you? There's one of you. There's 2 of you. Third one's having a bath. See if I can get you all in frame. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you have an amazing day. And goodbye.